Hi again, everyone. I'm 2 News Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony with this edition of Weather-Wise. We're going to talk about why June could stay dry here for at least the next 5, maybe 7 days, but also why we might see just little brief appearances of some thunderstorm complexes that move toward us from Missouri and Kansas. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But first, one more review of May. The National Weather Service on Tuesday releasing some data that said that they issued 916 hydrologic products. That means river warnings, flood statements, river statements, flood advisories, all those types of things. Among them, river flood warnings 78. They also issued 72 flash flood warnings and 30 aerial flood warnings. And aerial flood warnings really take into account when creeks or culverts or ditches or something like that are overflowing their banks. Now, we want to talk about why we're going to stay dry for the most part. I want you to pay attention down here. This is an upper level ridge that is strengthening and building to the north. So by the time we make it to Friday, this ridge has built into southwest Missouri. Now that should give us dry weather through that time. And it could stay dry through the weekend as the ridge stays in place, but notice just a little breakdown in the ridge. So maybe something floats in here over the weekend, but I think it stays dry. Then I want you to pay attention out here, okay? This is a little elongated area of low pressure off the west coast. Now watch what it does. It moves up and it gets caught in the northwest flow just to the north of Denver. Now watch, it's going to make this type of movement down toward Tulsa here next week. And so as it comes down toward Tulsa, it gets kind of cut off from the main flow. So we may have just this little weird upper level low spinning overhead, and we may have our best chance of rain about a week from now. All right, here's future track. We'll put it into motion beginning Wednesday, and you'll notice see that little thunderstorm complex trying to make a run at us Wednesday into Thursday, kind of fall apart on our doorstep. I don't know if you could see that, but it happened. And then another one kind of approaches from the northwest, and it falls apart. So yeah, there may be a sprinkle, maybe a brief shower, but really when it's all said and done, it's really going to be dry through the end of the week. Now, this data here would suggest that even into Tulsa we could have a couple hundreds, maybe a tenth of an inch of rainfall by Thursday. So maybe one of those thunderstorm complexes Wednesday or into Thursday would make it all the way down here. But I think it's probably going to stay dry. Or if we had anything, it would be a couple of sprinkles. So anyway, we're dry. We're going to stay dry for the most part, but we don't see anything like we saw in May headed our way, at least for the first half of June. I'm 2 News Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony. Thanks for watching this edition of Weather-Wise.